LinkedIn events strategy, they don't want you to know. So this is the very unofficial guide on how to have an amazing LinkedIn event. And if LinkedIn found that you were doing this, they probably wouldn't like it very much. So exercise with caution, but this is a very, very effective strategy. Like I said, I made over $20,000 doing this exact strategy in just a number of months. So, which is a lot of money for me. So this is separated into 3 parts. First, we're going to talk about how to set up a LinkedIn event, the basic LinkedIn event strategy, and then my secret LinkedIn event strategy. So the benefits of LinkedIn events, I really like them because they're non-invasive. You don't have to send somebody a direct message that you don't know at all, right? It's just an invite to like a party. You would send somebody you're, kind of connected with an invite to a networking event or to an event you're holding. It's not like schedule a one-on-one meeting with me, right? It's very non-invasive. It's good at gauging people's interest. So maybe you made a connection with a potential prospect. You send them an event, they sign up to that event. Even if they don't come, it expressed some interest in what you're doing, and you can follow up and say, hey, you signed up for my event. I didn't see you there. Did you want more information? It kind of gives you that excuse to message them. And then also a LinkedIn event adds social proof and social pressure. When you show up to one of my events and there's 50 people on the call, I guess, you're thinking, something, right? And then in a group environment, there's a little bit more pressure to buy, I think. Sometimes, depends. But I think there is social pressure and social proof. Okay, so how do we do a LinkedIn event? This is how to set up a LinkedIn event. Here's your LinkedIn homepage. You go ahead and scroll down. You'll see the events tab down here. Go ahead and click on the plus sign. Okay, that's going to bring you into the create event page. It's asking for a cover image. That image has to be 16 by 9. That's just your basic display. That's how most horizontal images will display, 16 by 9. Next thing is if you are hosting an online event, which is what we're training on here today, you want to make sure the event is online. And then where it says event format here, you want to make sure you do external link. I don't host my events on LinkedIn. I don't do audio events. I do Zoom events. And I do that just because I'm more comfortable with it. It allows more interaction, I think, than LinkedIn Lives or even audio events. You can see them. I like seeing people when I talk. Okay, enter in your event name. So my event that I host every week is called Creator Networking, where creators connect. Okay, the time zone is really important. So make sure your time is right, and then make sure that, I said this over here, make sure your event isn't more than 1 to 2 hours. I know some people will do like, oh, this is an all-day event because it's a seminar. What that does is it creates this really long, it just gunks up the person's entire Google Calendar and it sucks. And then I just delete the event. So just make it an hour. The external link, this is where you want to put your Zoom link. So make sure that you put your Zoom link in the external link spot and that it's correct. You can change it. One time it was like an hour before the event, I realized my Zoom link was wrong, so I had to change it. But that's fine. When they do add it to their Google Calendars or their calendar, it will not include your Zoom link. It will include a link back to the LinkedIn event, by the way. So that's why that changing the Zoom room at the last minute can work, because when they click on the link in their Google Calendar, it will send them back to the LinkedIn event, and then they'll click on the Zoom link on the LinkedIn event to join the meeting, if that makes sense. Add your description of what the event's about. Add your speaker, it's me, right? Go ahead and click next, and then it will say, okay, you just made the event. Would you like to do a post on your LinkedIn wall about the event? So write a little description. I just copy and paste the same description I have on the event, and I click post. Cool. All right, if you want to find that event that you just made, go ahead and click on events, and you'll see that event was just created right here. You can also click on show all, and it will show all the events that you're signed up to attend and all the events that you created. Okay. But I'm just going to go ahead and click on my event there, and it takes me into my event page. Now, this is the basic strategy of how to get people to your events. Okay, so here's my event page. I'm going to go ahead and click on share, and then I'm going to click on invite. Okay, then it's going to take me to basically my contacts list. And this is just kind of a random order of people. If I click on the little box right here, this is just saying, whoops, go back. So on LinkedIn, you can invite 1,000 people per week from this screen, okay? Or just in general, you can invite 1,000 people per week, okay? 1,000 invites a week. So if I click on this box right here, it will tag her and it'll put it over here as one selected. And then I would just click invite just her. Okay, but to do this, if I don't choose one of these categories up here, I have to go and click on each individual one of these people. It's very tiresome. So what I do is if you choose any of these categories, like United States, okay, this box will appear above your invites. And then if you click on that box, it will just go ahead and select all these people for you, and you can select people much faster. So scroll down on the screen, edit your categories, and you can invite people a lot faster. Okay, so here's an event that I have coming up. Here's that Zoom link that you'll see, and then here are the number of attendees, right? So you can click on that attendees list and you can see everybody who's registered for it. So that's really the basic strategy, okay? Now, here's kind of the key. You can invite 1,000 people a week per account, okay? So what I would do is if this was today, I would schedule my event 3 weeks out, because then I can invite 1,000 people. I can invite 3,000 people to the single event, right? Just on my account. Imagine if we had more accounts. If we scheduled it 3 weeks out and we had 2 accounts, you could invite 6,000. For this demonstration, we're going to do 3 weeks out, 3 accounts. We're going to be sending 9,000 invites, okay, to a single event. But we want to do this in a specific way, okay? Now, let me tell you a little bit about LinkedIn. On LinkedIn, there's first-degree connections. Me and Mark Perone are first-degree connections. We're friends. We're connected. Me and Mark are connected to each other, okay? Now, there's also second-degree connections, okay? So you'll see here I have some common mutual connections, but I'm actually not connected with this guy. He's a friend of a friend, right? So Mark Perone's my connection, and maybe Mark Perone is friends with this guy, but I'm not. He's my second connection. Does that make sense to everyone? Okay. Now, there's another thing on LinkedIn called third connections. Those are, if this is me, this is Mark Perone, he's my friend. The other guy is a friend of a friend. This guy's not even a friend of a friend. He has no relationship to us. He's completely outside of me and Mark's network. Now, he might be in this guy's network, but he's not in my network at all. Does that make sense? The third connections, okay? So what we want to do is have 3 different accounts. Let's just say that these are the 3 accounts. We're maybe having a joint event together, okay? Or they're just being really nice and they're sending people to my event. What we want to do is when we're sending out our LinkedIn invitations to connect, we only want to connect with third-degree connections. Why? Well, it's kind of like this. We're sending out invitations in different directions. And in turn, we're getting different networks. What a lot of people do is they'll just add second connections. All these purple ones down here is the key. All of these are second connections. If all we do is connect with second connections, guess what? They'll all be first connections here in a matter of days. So what I do is I only connect with third-degree connections on these 3 accounts that are working together to promote a singular event or a singular business. So I call this sending out ships or planes in different directions. You want to send out ships, you want to send out your planes in different directions to go to different lands. You don't all want to end up in the same area, in the same network. You want to expand your networks, wide and far, not just have all the same people. Because if you have those 3 different accounts inviting 9,000 people and they're all second connections, you're inviting the same person 3 times. So all 3 accounts are inviting to a single event, 1,000 unique. So you can do 1,000 unique invites per week per account. 3 times 3 accounts, 1,000 invites a week. That'd be 9,000 unique invites to a single event. So 3 weeks out, 3 accounts, 1,000 people a week over 3, right? So does that make sense? I know I actually went through it pretty quick. That was just about 10 minutes, but does that make sense to everybody?
I have a question.
Yeah. Yeah, go
So
ahead, please.
Alex, I was following along. I have an event, but it's in the past, so I'm wondering if that might be the issue. But I don't see the invite.
Yeah, that's because it's closed. If the event is passed, then you won't be able. So you have to create a new event to see the invite tab
Okay,
again.
so it will be there. Okay, good.
Mm-hmm.
You don't have to have some special account for that.
Nope, it's free. It's free for everybody.
Okay.
Yeah. The thing though is you want to be building your LinkedIn connections. So You want to build your second degree connections to create that interconnected network here within H7 probably. But if you're really trying to grow an event, like we said, and have a lot of people attend, well, then you can really kind of strategize with those three accounts. Now, all three of those accounts have to have common interests because this is where it kind of falls. This is kind of what they don't want to know. What I do, I have my account, I have my girlfriend's account, and I have a fake account. And it's just right. And that fake account is just third degree connections in the same, in a similar niche. I don't overlap on the niche. So the niche that I have this third account, the secret account going to, it's real estate agents. On my Alex Hit account, I don't connect with real estate agents anymore. It's kind of my target, but it's not really. So I'm going to leave my extra account to expand with a completely new network. And I'm actually going to name that third account something that's going to be appealing for real estate agents. Not I'm a salesperson looking to sell you account. On that account, I'm a real estate assistant. So real estate agents like to, friend that account. A lot of people don't like to. So you can make that third account and you can tailor it to that niche that you're expanding into. So those two other accounts, those three other accounts, pick different niches. And then you can just do those third degree connections and expand in those different niches.
Does your third secret account have your profile picture? It looks like your okay.
AI
So
created
what is it?
AI created image, fake name, fake
Okay.
work history.
Okay. Could it be generic, like a company account, like it has the company logo?
I would do a person. People want to connect with people. So
Okay.
like I said, this is the secret. This is the secret way that they don't want to know. I don't have a lot of
Mhm.
money to put into advertisement. These are guerrilla marketing tactics that we do to survive as business owners, essentially, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's not what they want you to do. Evan, you're muted.
I don't need 9,000. I don't want to go down that route with 9. I get it, but I'm like, I can be very happy with 3,000 to 6,000 people. My question is, what percentage of people show up for the event?
For my events,
10
I've
or
had an
less,
event.
10%?
I've had an event that has had over 1,500 people accept the invite, and
Yeah.
then 220 were actually on the call. And out of those
Okay.
220, 20% purchased.
Okay.
So that was the 20 grand right there. Right.
So more on that third account. So I could kind of consider this imaginary person a member of my staff or something, or is it just
Exactly.
like completely random or?
Yeah, it could be a member of your staff. It could be completely random. It could be
Okay.
your assistant. It could be your wife.
Because
It
I
could
do
be
have a
your
virtual assistant. I could just sort of pretend that she has an account.
Yeah, if you had a virtual assistant or somebody was managing your LinkedIn, you would just teach them the third degree connection strategy.
Ah,
So that's really the key. The kicker to this is the third degree connection strategy.
Only
And a lot
connect
of,
with third degree. So you're only reaching out to third degree, which is interesting. I like that. I rarely do.
like I said, most people will connect to second degree because
Yeah.
those are friends of friends. And so you say, oh, this is a friendly person, they're going to accept my invite. Yeah, that's fine. But then, like I said, it's this graph here. You're just creating these closed networks.
Mm-hmm.
This is all you're doing.
Mm-hmm.
What I'm doing is I'm reaching thousands more people in all different directions, in all different niches. And then if I'm posting content to those three accounts,
And they all have secondary connections.
and they all have secondary connections.
Mm-hmm.
okay. So then
And
with your
LinkedIn, sorry, last
girlfriend,
thing is LinkedIn throttles your reach. LinkedIn is ridiculous. I hate LinkedIn, to be honest, because I like search for people. I just do what the app wants me to do. And it's like, you're locked out. You have to pay us $70 a month to look at people and to connect with people. The whole point of the platform. It's ridiculous. They're just, so use three accounts and, yeah, that's a good way to get around the locking and the throttling. Sorry, but go ahead, Scott.
okay. So you said you use your girlfriend's account, and is there any? I mean, is that totally random, or does your girlfriend have some profile that fits the invite?
She's a real estate assistant.
Okay. So
And then my
it's
other
not
account is
universal.
like a real estate assistant too, but we just make sure that those two accounts are only connecting third degree. The key is all
Right.
three of those accounts must be first degree connections. because otherwise it's not going to be able to track who's a third degree and who's a second degree. So I'm friends with my girlfriend, I'm
Okay.
friends with I'm first degree connections with them. Therefore, it will tell me who are all the second degree connections, meaning people who are friends with those other accounts. And then all three accounts only do third degree connections.
Mhm.
Okay.
And then you're actually going out, like I said, the ships in different directions strategy.
So if my wife is a completely different niche, it makes no sense to use her account, right? I would need maybe another imaginary account.
Correct.
Okay.
Yeah, my girlfriend doesn't use LinkedIn, so I just, we just give her a fake job. Well, she was a real estate assistant for me for a long time, so that's not actually a lie. But yeah, the other account is it's just a fake account. It says real estate assistant, has some fake work history, and I don't post to the account. I don't message people from the account. All I'm doing from that account is sending invites. That's it.
Mm-hmm.
I have a quote unquote fake account, but it is a recruiter. I appear as a recruiter, so I don't really have to worry so much about it being in the niche, because
Mhm.
once that you're a recruiter, they can assume you're a recruiter for anything, and so it kind of works out well, especially because I have 6 different services that don't overlap each other. I mean, some do, but that way I can just keep using my fake account for all 6 of them.
Yeah. Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah. That's a good strategy. You could just call it a recruiter account, and then everyone, oh, you're looking for me, type of thing.
Especially on
Yeah.
LinkedIn, it works out really well because,
That's a good strategy. Yeah. Do 2 recruiter accounts, and then, yeah. And then as far as the invitation goes, yeah, like if you were to connect with somebody random and they had kind of a suspicious work history and profile, and then they send you a direct message, you'd be like blocked. You know what I mean? But if it's an
Mhm.
invite, they don't have to respond. You don't even know if they click deny. And if it's within their niche, so like for the real estate events, I was hosting like social media masterclass for real estate agents. Oh wow, so that niche that you are expanding into, it probably should be related to your event, right? And then name your event something that's going to be, my target audience are creators, so mine's creator networking, right? So I put that in the title of my event. We could have went over like the title, but yeah, just make the title very simple, very short, and mention the target audience in the title itself, I would say. So people, because when you get a LinkedIn event, it just shows you the event name, and then it has a check mark or an X as your 2 options. You click yes. A lot of people will, just because they're like, oh, I'll throw it on my calendar and maybe I will or will not go. But remember, you can look at your attendees list. You can look up who signed up to attend. And then before the event, I'll say, hey, just to remind you, the event is happening today and it's at this time. Okay. A lot of people will say, oh, thank you so much for the reminder. After the event, I'll follow up and I'll say, hey, we just had the event. There was a lot of people there. I don't know if you attended, but did you have any feedback or did you want any more information? A lot of people say, no, I wasn't able to attend the event. Oh, okay, cool. Well, here's our next event. Or did you want me to send you the recording, or did you, send them to your landing page? Do you want me to email it to you? So this is your warm intro to them. You're not reaching out to them cold. They express interest in what you were doing. So,
Wow.
and then I also will link my event in that message, because when you copy and paste the URL into a direct message, it will show the event and it will show that they are attending. So that's also very key. When you message them, copy and paste the URL of the event in your LinkedIn message, and then it will say, oh, it will actually have proof right there in front of them. Oh, I did sign up for this event. This person isn't lying.
But when
A lot of
you
people say, like, I didn't even know I signed up. Go ahead, Catherine.
when you're messaging them, does LinkedIn throttle how many messages you can send? Because they've signed up for the event, you have no throttle. Oh, that's remarkable.
So I sat there before my event and I messaged, 1,000 people. And then after the event, I sent there and I messaged 1,000 more. Messaged them again. Hey, I don't know if you were able to make it, but it was a really great event. There's a ton of people there. I don't know if I saw you, but did you want the recording or whatever? That's your excuse to send them a nice message. Made a lot of relationships that way.
Wow.
So you have up to 9,000 people. Well, your number was 1,500 accepted, right? So all 1,500 of those people, even though they were third level connections of somebody else, my assistant, I can direct message them because they accepted the invite. And
Yes. Yeah.
that's
So
amazing.
if I go to my LinkedIn, we can do this here shortly. I don't know if we will be able to. If I go to my LinkedIn and I click on my networking tab, 110 seconds left here.
You got it. You can do
Under
it.
pressure. All right. So here's one of my events.
Now, how many connections do you have?
I have over 6,000. I have
Okay.
97 signed up for this one. I didn't do this strategy for this event, but if I click on here, a lot of these are third degree connections. I have 10 pages of them and I can message every single one.
Okay.
Wow.
That's fabulous.
Do you use Briskine to make the messages easier, or do you use any kind of tech like that?
I just copy and paste.
Okay.
It's a lot of manual. For me to do that manually.
Briskine would make it I'm teaching Danny what Briskine is tomorrow. Briskine is a Briskine it works with LinkedIn, and you put templates in. It's so much easier and faster than copy and pasting, just to let you know.
Unbelievable. Hours
Could you-
back in your life.
Could you spell it for me, Evan?
Briskine. And if you need me to demo it, I'll show you. It's free for 30 of them. So it's a free tool I've been using for 2 years on LinkedIn. Saved me a shitload of time. You can pay for more, but why?
Yeah, I see it.
But I
Templates
learned
for
from a
LinkedIn.
Yes, amazing tool for you. You're
Cool.
welcome.
Yeah, that would really help. There we go. So Briskine.
You just create the template and then you just hit Control Space to open it. And you type in, you can search and put the one in that you want, but then it always comes up with that one again and again and again. So when I do birthdays and all those, I'm done in 10 minutes instead of 30 minutes.
Thanks, everyone.